The Yes album was released on February 19th, 1971, produced by Yes, the first album produced by Yes, and Eddie Elford, who's one of the recording engineers. It has 6 songs and 41 minutes. It's a monster of a record. This is Yes's attempt to retain their Yes sound that they trademarked and stamped on the first 2 albums, Yes and Time and a Word, but make an album that is more appealing to the public because they thought the record company Atlantic Records wasn't going. They were going to dump them if this one didn't sell. So the first 2 didn't sell great, and so they made a big effort here. The album cover. Let's just take a look at this. Looks like a strip of film on the sides. You guys remember the old days when we had film before tape and before streaming. And then there's a picture of the band. Now, the photography is by Phil Franks and Barry Wenzel, and the design is by Jan Goodchild. And that's all, there's credits in here. But just to show you guys the band, that's John. And that's Chris. And of course, we have Steve Howe. Now, he's on the record cover for Time and a Word, but he didn't play on Time and a Word. But he's on this one, and he's a songwriter too. And then you got down here, you got Bill Bruford, and then Tony Kaye in the middle, the keyboardist. And you got a floating styrofoam head, or whatever that is, and a chair. And they just shoved the band into the corner of the guy's apartment, and he took the picture. On the back, you've got the floating head in the chair, which is kind of creepy. And then on the inside, you got some pictures of the band from when they were on tour. And it's like a collage, but very red and green. And this is a remaster. This is an Atlantic Records. You can see the disc. Let me show you the disc. It's one of these trademark red and green ones from the mid-90s. I picked this up probably in I'm going to guess 95 or 96 when I went through my big Yes stage. And yeah, what's the big news? The big news is Steve Howe is in the band, okay? So with that, let's get right into the songs, all right? You guys are waiting. The first track is Yours Is No Disgrace, written by Yes, which is all of them get credit. Anderson, Squire, Howe, Bruford, Tony Kaye. They all get writing credit. So this is a group composition. It's 9 minutes and 41 seconds, although they can really stretch it out in live performances. And if you ever have seen Yes Years, I forgot to get the tape. I mean, of course, I have the CD right behind me here of Yes, did I say Yes Years? Yes Songs. But I have the VHS tape. I should go get it before this is done. This is a group composition, and I wouldn't say this is a concert staple for Yes, but let's call it frequently played, if not every other tour or about that. I think Steve Howe likes this song, which is why they play it a lot. In the video called Yes Years, Bill Bruford explains this song is like part 2 of the Richie Havens tune called No Opportunity Necessary, No Experience Needed. And I just always loved his explanation of it. And, it's like country. And I'll just say this. I went to the Yes concert in Madison, Wisconsin on November 9th, 2022. And that was my 5th Yes concert. And they played Yours Is No Disgrace. And then after it, they played No Opportunity Necessary, No Experience Needed. And I remember thinking, gosh, I wish they would have played it in reverse order so I could hear it in the natural order. Like this is the part 2 of the song. But anyway, that's cool either way. Yours Is No Disgrace is in the key of A major, and it changes to B flat major and then to D major in the middle of the song. The key changes are in weird spots, and sometimes they're the main theme and verse are in A major, and then sometimes it goes up to B flat major. Okay, so moderately tempo in 4/4 time, and occasionally switching to 2/4 time for a bar or two here and there. And that's why the song seems kind of herky-jerky. It's really proggy, really. The verse is, yesterday a morning came, a smile upon your face. Caesar's palace, morning glory, silly human race. It's a 12-bar verse. And the second verse, the second time they sing it, they stretch it out to 16 bars, and it's very natural. It doesn't seem forced like I think I mentioned in the Beatles' Abbey Road, was it Carry That Weight? They stretched it out. I might be getting the song wrong, but sometimes they stretch a verse out and it doesn't sound right. This one does. You don't even notice. Okay, there's an instrumental break at 2:41 to 3:22. This is a jam which features the entire band, but you can hear Steve Howe playing great clean guitar lines, and it's about 41 seconds total. Then another part of the song, there's an instrumental break from 4:06 to 6:58. This is a longer one, and this part comes after the third verse, which is it's the song is just with the bass playing behind it, and I think that's one of the key changes. And the total is about 2 minutes and 52 seconds. The second instrumental break, including the guitar solo, and the guitar solo starts around the 4-minute 50-second mark. This is the best part of the song when Steve starts doing the when he's doing that, that's when he's rolling his groove. And I mentioned Yes Songs earlier. It's called Yes Songs, right? Yeah, Yes Songs. Of course, I'll go get the VHS later, but the VHS version is amazing. Okay. But they really stretch out the soloing in the VHS version. But also I think they play this in the House of Yes, and I have both the DVD and the DVDs right here, but and I have the CDs, but they stretch it out there too. It's fantastic. Okay, the bridge part of the song, we haven't gotten to the bridge yet. Death-defying, mutilated armies gather. Crawling out of dirty holes, their morals disappear. This is 11 bars. The bridge, it's in D major. The bridge. After the bridge, the final two verses are in D major. I think if I'm reading the sheet music correct. By the way, the sheet music for this, all these songs are in the book. I love this book. I've had this book forever, and I'm so grateful. It's like it goes all the way up to. What does that say? Yes shows. I'm so grateful I have the book, but it allows me to transpose and to think about the music theory. But what was I gonna say? Oh, the bridge, the song. I don't usually talk about too much about the meanings of songs, but this is an anti-war song, and you can just really get it in the bridge right there. Death-defying, mutilated armies gather near. He's singing about how innocent people get sucked into the military, and then they go off to wars like Vietnam War. And bad things turn bad. They turn good people into bad people, I guess. I don't know how else to interpret it, but it's one of the best Yes songs. The outro is about 24 bars, and it's the main riff of the song going, and then that's the song. The song is verse, break, verse, break, and that the guitar solo is in that second break. And then the bridge, and then the verse. And that's Yours Is No Disgrace. One of my favorite Yes songs, quite honestly. The second tune is called The Clap, written by Steve Howe. And you can see right here, I'm not even lying, it's actually called The Clap, okay? It was recorded live at Lyceum, London, in 3 minutes and 17 seconds. This is a live track on a studio album. The name of the song is Clap, but John Anderson, this is the legend, John Anderson mistakenly wrote it down as The Clap, which is why it says that on the album. The Clap. And the clap is a hideous disease, if you don't know. But he's singing about the clap. It's a song he wrote for his baby boy. Probably Dylan, I guess. Dylan Howe. The clap is in the key of D major, and it's bright at 2 beat. So like in cut time, like 1, 2, 1, 2. Ba-ba-dum, ba-dum, 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 bum, 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 bum. Ba-da, 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 ba-da. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. That's kind of how the song goes. It's a good song, and it's I wouldn't call it a concert staple, but he sure plays it a lot in his solo spots. And like I said, it's in cut time and it's an instrumental, and that's the clap. Track 3 is Starship Trooper. It's 9 minutes and 26 seconds. This has got to be the longest tune on the album, right? It isn't. It's yours is No Disgrace is longer. I'm kind of surprised by that. Okay, what about Starship Trooper? I would say that this is a concert staple or frequently played, but they play this just about every tour. And who? Let me see. Who did? Oh, the credits. The credits go to, of course, John, Chris, and Steve, and it's broken up into three parts. So Yes uses this as a show closer a lot, and they did on the November 9th, 2022 show that I was at. And Billy did a great job. But this one makes the list of one of my favorite Yes tunes also. And this song is three parts: Life Seeker by John, Disillusion by Chris, and then Verm by Steve Howe. And Verm is the part of the song that makes a great closer because of all the soloing opportunities it presents for different musicians in the band. So let's dig into these one at a time. Life Seeker is written by John Anderson. It's in the key of E major, and it's moderately changing from 3/4 time to 4/4 time and even 2/4 time. Or what the book says, it has 2/4, but it'll say 4/8 in parentheses, which is weird. And it's frequent time signature changes. The verse is Sister Bluebird flying high above. It's 18 bars. Da 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 da. It's got that big booming bass line. I think honestly that's why I like this song. The bass line is such a big booming line, and then there's this beautiful electric guitar by Steve Howe that's playing as Chris Squire holds that really long note. Okay. And then the chorus is Speak to Me of Summer. Da, 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 da. It's 18 bars of chorus, mostly in 4/4 time, but changes also to 2/4, 3/4, and even 3/8 time. Life Seeker is verse, verse, chorus, and verse. And John Anderson is writing about the book Starship Trooper. And I've never read the book, but I kind of I think I understand what it's about just listening to the song a billion times. But they also made a movie about it in the late 90s, which I've never seen. Which I remember at the time thinking, is that from the song? But then I never, I don't know why I didn't watch it. The second part of the song is called Disillusion. And this is the Chris Squire part. And it's in the key of E major. And so it's the same key as the first part. And it's a brighter tempo than the first part, and with a two beat feel. So it's in 2/4 time, or 2 beats per measure, and the quarter note gets a beat. Okay. The bridge is loneliness is a power that we possess to give or take away forever. Okay, it's like a real peppy part of the song, and Steve Howe is playing this really cool acoustic guitar. Okay, and it's 54 bars. I counted it out in the sheet music, and then they actually repeat the chorus from Life Seeker. So I don't know why Chris gets credit for repeating the chorus, but that's what it is. The chorus is it's the same chorus that's in Life Seeker, and it's 18 bars. And all Disillusion is that bridge and the chorus, and that's it. Okay? And then the third part of the song is Verm, which is a instrumental written by Steve Howe. It's in the key of G major. So the key is going up, and it's in 4/4 time. And the instrumental, I counted out, if I counted it correctly in the sheet music, it's about 70 bars total, and then it fades out. And what's different about this version, the version that's on the album, compared to the many, many live versions that are out there, is the lack of the keyboard solo, which to me is kind of glaring. And in the studio version, the band jams, but it's really just a vehicle for the guitar solo that Steve Howe plays starting at around 8 minutes and 24 seconds, okay? Now, in the live versions, like Keys to Ascension, ABWH, Yes Symphonic, I saw them at the Masterworks tour. They played it. They allow for soloing by Squire, even last November 2022. I think Billy played a little solo. But Chris Squire does this whole boom, 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 boom part. And he's kind of bum 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 ba da dum ba. He's kind of like bopping around the stage, and then Howe and Wakeman, they play their parts, and Wakeman's playing this. Then he starts going. You know, they do that on all the other live versions that Wakeman's on, and Igor has a part and different parts. But I actually prefer the live versions, even though the studio version sounds so great and clean. I do like the live version. I like the live version better. We'll just say it at that. Just because of all the soloing. And they can really extend it out. So they extend it out to like 12, 13 minutes in those live ones. And that's Starship Trooper. Track 4 is I've Seen All Good People, 6 minutes and 56 seconds. It's divided into 2 parts. Your Move by John Anderson, and then All Good People by Chris Squire. Now, the Your Move part, let's do that one first. John Anderson, and he's the lead vocalist, of course. By the way, I used to hear the song a lot on WAPL, and or I think WOZZ maybe too, but for sure APL back in the 90s. I don't know if they still play it, but that was probably the first time I heard it, probably in the early 90s, maybe even before that. They used to play all these songs like Roundabout and Long Distance Run Around, and but I clearly remember them playing I've Seen All Good People. Okay, it's known as an anti-war song and includes John wrote chess analogies, like the board game chess. It's a anti-war song, and it's about chess. Okay, the version on Yes Acoustic is my favorite, and Yes Acoustic, if you hadn't heard it, is it's the Magnification band with Wakeman, or so the Going for the One band. So Alan White's there, and Wakeman and Howe, and I wore that DVD out, and I just love the version of I've Seen All Good People on that. It's just really peppy. There's a famous recorder by Colin Goldring. Okay, and it's in the key of E major, moderately tacit, or in 4/4 time, or quicker tempo. The intro is I've Seen All Good People turn their heads each day, so satisfied, I'm on my way. It's 13 bars. And then the verse is, take a straight and stronger course to the corner of your life. Make the white queen moves, run so fast, she hasn't got time to make you a wise, blah, blah, blah. It's 12 bars. And John is just singing in his best voice. And then the chorus is, 'cause it's time, in time with your time, and its news is captured for the queen to use. That's the chorus at 7 bars, and then it goes immediately into the bridge, like without any pause. Did it. And there's 2 different bridges, so they play the bridge 8 bars, and then then they play it again immediately for another 8 bars. But the second time they're playing this, John is they're doing did it, and then John is singing all we are saying is give peace a chance, which is a John Lennon line. And he does, you can barely hear it on here, but when they do it live on the DVDs or in the concerts, he's just belting it out like it's the main part of the song almost. Anyway, it's verse chorus bridge. The second part of the song is called All Good People, which is credited to Chris Squire. And it starts in the key of E major, and then it changes to D major, then to C major for the end. And it's moderately bright shuffle in 4/4 time. And all Good People it's mainly an instrumental, but they're singing the refrain. I've seen all good people turn their heads each day, so satisfied I'm on my way. And then do 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 bum 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 bum. They're just really jamming. That's what it is. And they do this jam for 48 bars plus like a 24 bar outro. Okay, so what is that? 96 bars, I guess, total, or I can't do math. 76 bars. And the outro is 6 bars in D major and then 12 bars in C major, and then you can hear the key changes. It's kind of obvious. but those last 12 bars are in C major, and that's All Good People. Track 5 on the Yes album is called Adventure, written by John Anderson. 3 minutes and 16 seconds. You know, the final 2 songs on the album make for a really interesting ending, actually. You might be compelled to skip, but these are not skips. Okay, so let's start with Adventure. It's in the key of B flat major. But the first 14 chords are minors. I can't read. The first 44 chords are minors. And it's like repeating G minor, C minor, G minor 7th. And it just goes on and on and on. So really mellow, kind of somber song. G minor is the last chord of the song also. So it's probably not in B flat major. It's probably a G minor song. The tempo is kind of bright and it's in 4/4 time, but it just has like a like you're suppressing, okay? The intro is in 3/4 time for 4 bars repeated, so 8 bars of lead guitar, and there's a little ditty before that 8 bars. Like you can hear Tony K starting up. But really it's an 8-bar intro. And then the verse is John Anderson singing. By the way, he's not singing in his beautiful voice. It's like it's not his falsetto voice. He just, once a beautiful man laid his old head down by a river. And then he sings in his falsetto voice at the end. It's 14 bars for the verse in 4/4 time. But when he gets to the hideaway part, it changes to 3/4 time. And then the chorus is, he told all of his sons of all the antics of adventure. I'm a terrible singer, I know. But it's 15 bars in 4/4 time, 5/4 time, and 3/4 time. And that's why it feels so weird, because it's like, it's kind of like, you can tell the time signature is definitely changing. It's very, very proggy, okay? And the bridge, there's the third part of this, or the fourth part, I guess, including the intro, is the bridge. The bridge is, better men have realized alone is not a venture. And it's 12 bars in 4/4 time the whole way. There's no time changes in the bridge. There's an outro, which is the final part of the song. It's a piano-led and bass-driven jam starting around 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And it goes all the way to the end. So just shy of a minute, about 54 seconds total. And Adventure is a nice little song. It goes by really fast. I mean, it's an easy listen. It's not a skip. And I start to like do the toe tapping thing. It's a verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, outro. Adventure. Track 6 is the final track on the wonderful The Yes album, called Perpetual Change, written by Chris Squire, John Anderson. It's 8 minutes and 50 seconds. And so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the guitar, and the guitar and the piano are playing that main riff of the song. And by the way, there's a nice version of this song on the House of Yes, House of Blues. I'll save it for another day, but if I've never talked about this, this should be in your catalog if you don't have this. I have the CD too. That's a story for another day. How did I end up with both? But anyway, Perpetual Change is in the key of D major. Moderately played, but lots of time changes: 4/4 time, 2/4 time, 1/4 time, which is 1 quarter note, and then there's some measures of 3/4 time too. The verse is, I see the cold mist in the night and watch the hills roll out of sight, and he's singing in his falsetto voice. It's 18 bars, and then the bridge is, and there you are. It's an 8-bar bridge. And then the refrain is, you will seek perpetual change. The refrain is at the 3-minute 50-second mark. And that's all the refrain is. That's the third part of the song. Then the fourth part of the song is this jam from 4:15 to 5 minutes and 10 seconds. So about 55 seconds total. And it changes to this really happy beat, and the whole audio moves to the left channel. And then just at about the 5:30 mark, the right channel comes in with the melody of, the vocal melody of the song, but it's not John singing in this channel. It's instrumentalized, okay? And then at 6:22, so like in your ears, you're hearing two different songs playing at the same time in different time signatures. At 6:22, both the left and right channel come back together. They like merge and they play a long chord, and then they go right into the bridge. Now, this is a jazz technique, or like something you might hear on a King Crimson, on Thrack, or actually, Yes. By the way, Yes does this a lot. Okay, they do this. They do this a lot, and where half the band is playing it one thing in one speaker, and the other half is playing another thing, and then they come together. It can be painful. I'm trying to think. There's a song on Discipline by King Crimson that does it. It's really hard. It's really hard on my brain. But Thela Hunjinjit, of course. It can be hard on your brain, like very, because the brain wants to tap to one part of it, and then the other part of it's doing another thing. So but it works. The outro was a really long jam at the end where they're gonna for about a minute. And that's Perpetual Change. It's a verse, bridge, refrain. That long jam that I talked about where they're, doing the two channel thing. And then the bridge, and then one final verse and the outro. And it's just a great ending to the album. Now, in summary, the Yes album sold a lot. Over 1 million albums. 1,600,000. 1,060,000, sorry. That's good for only about number 41 in 1970. And for Yes, it's good for their number 7 best album. The fans like it, for sure. PlyoGuys.com gives it a 4.31, which is number 33 on the all-time list, ahead of legendary albums like Pink Floyd Metal and Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention, One Size Fits All, and The Raven by Steve Wilson, which might be my favorite Steve Wilson album. To me, that's kind of shocking, because even though I think this is excellent. I don't know if it's better than those albums, but some really good albums right there. AllMusic.com gives this a 4-star rating. And Rolling Stone over the years has given it a positive, and they gave it initially a 5-star and then a 4-star, and now I think it's down to a 3-star. But who cares? It's the Rolling Stone. You can't just appreciate album reviews over time. And I was talking to my friends about this, but they recently did these are the top guitar players of all time. Go look at the list. Go look at how they ranked the best guitar players of all time. By the way, this guy right here, he should be number 1. If he's not number 1, he's number 2 to Robert Fripp. Okay, I can't. Whatever. Where did I rank it? I have it 6 for Yes. I got it behind Fragile. Which, to me, Fragile and the Yes album are pretty close. And then the Big Four. The Big Four is Going for the One, Relayer, Tales, and Close to the Edge. But it's not as good as those four, for sure. And it's about as good as Fragile. So I'll stand by this. But I do really like this album. And I like the creepy head guy. Okay, that's it. Thanks for listening to the Yes album, and I hope you like the Yes album. And if you don't, that's fine. But you can leave your comments, and maybe I got something wrong, or there's something you want to share about it that you like, but go ahead and leave in the comments. And don't forget to thumbs up. And subscribe to the channel if you like the channel. And next on the channel, I'm working on the Beatles' Let It Be. I should have it done. I mean, I'm motoring right through it. I just started working on it yesterday, so... the Beatles' Let It Be is coming up. Go Packers.